Okay, welcome, guys. Everyone who's joining us. Just to introduce myself, if anybody doesn't know, I'm Greg Armfield, 9-star diamond, 3-time elite coach. And Jennifer, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jennifer Wooten, 6-star diamond, 2-time elite coach.
And what we want to do is we want to talk to you about converting customers into coaches and how to get them started right. Okay, so let's get started. Recruiting is not a bad word. So Jen, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I think that recruiting has gotten a bad name because a lot of people have made it icky. It shouldn't feel icky if you're recruiting the proper way. You are creating a tribe of people that you actually want to be surrounded by. So this should be something that you actually enjoy doing because you get to hand select people that you are filling your team with and that you're surrounding yourself with. And if you're doing it from the heart, you will never feel icky about it. It won't feel like you're selling anyone anything ever. You're genuinely just seeing something in them that they may not see in themselves, and you're just going on it. You're just letting them know what you see and selecting your tribe, handpicking them, hand selecting them.
Right. Something else that you're doing is you're helping people financially. So we help people physically all the time, right? We help them mentally and emotionally and physically, but this gives us an opportunity to help people financially, right? I mean, I've helped some of my coaches pay off their credit card debt, be able to afford, a house that they would never have been able to afford without coaching. So it is an amazing opportunity that we have that we can help people in that way as well. So as an example, like your waiter, like if you go to a restaurant and, your waiter will ask you after you finish your meal if you want dessert, right? If he didn't ask you if you wanted dessert, wouldn't you kind of feel slighted? Like, why didn't he ask me if I wanted dessert, right? Does he think I'm fat? But it's his job, right? It's just he's offering you the opportunity to indulge in some, amazing desserts, right? And if you were to tell him, no, you weren't interested in a dessert, he's not going to go back into the kitchen and cry and sulk, right? He's just going to go on to the next person, and he's going to ask the next person if he wants a dessert, right? And that's the way we should be as coaches, right? I mean, the coaching opportunity is such an amazing thing that, we want to offer it to people, just like that dessert. We want to offer it to people, but if they tell us no, that's okay. It's not for everyone. We're just going to go ask the next person. So, don't take it personally.
Absolutely. I had the opportunity these past few weeks. I was laid off from my corporate job. I work full-time on top of coaching, and I was actually laid off a couple months ago. And just recently, about 3 weeks ago, I had a friend that was one of my challengers approach me, and she's like, Jen, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I saw that you had gotten laid off, and I am actually in the corporate office of Sprint, and I would freaking love if you would join my team. You are just such a go-getter. Your energy is incredible. I know that you would be an asset to the team anywhere in Sprint. And I was like, gosh, Krista, you're just like, that's flattering. Thank you. That's super sweet of you to see so much in myself, because I would have never thought Sprint mobile. I know nothing about that. So I sent in my resume as she requested, and she messaged me like every single day. Hey, Jen, do you got that resume ready yet? Because it kind of like came in, and I'm like, thank you. And then I was like, oh, okay, Sprint, that's something to think about. And I didn't quite have my resume ready. And she just kept messaging me, hey, Jen, make sure you send me that resume. Make sure I've got, here's this phone number to this guy. I want you to talk about, I want you to talk to these 5 different people about all these different positions so that they can tell you how they like their job. And, she just went on, and she was relentless, but she was in such a sweet manner, such a flattering manner, that I said, you know what? Absolutely. If you feel that strongly that I believe on your team, here's my resume. Tell me what you want me to do. I went in for an interview. I went in for this ground position of probably like a retail sales consultant or something. I have no idea what I was going in for an interview for because I didn't even fill out an application. This guy was asking me all of the right questions. And it just all led back to coaching and leading and opportunity and opportunity. And so I took it and ended up with the keys to the Sprint store and a manager. And long story short, why do we feel so icky about messaging people and letting them know the qualities that we see in them? Just like she recruited me for Sprint, why are we not recruiting our dream team? You see people all day, every day in your challenge groups, on your friends list, maybe people you've worked with in the past that you just admire their drive or their motivation or their energy. And I'm not going to say any bad words, but we're too chicken to reach out to them and say, hey, I admire this about you. And I would absolutely be honored if you would join my team and lead with me. So why do we make it feel so icky? This is why recruiting should not have a bad word, because there was absolutely nothing offensive about how she approached me. So we shouldn't feel that way about it either. All right. Consistency is needed and it is key. I want to get a show of hands. I can't see all of you guys, but I want to know who was invited to this opportunity by a coach in a private message. Can I get a show of hands of who was invited to the opportunity of coaching via private message? Did your coach message you and say, hey, I think you'd be great at this? Or, if you were a challenger, right? How about by seeing an opportunity post? Is there anybody who saw an opportunity post and said, hey, this might be something that I could do? Right. If we don't post and talk about it, nobody will know that we have something to offer. And so this is why posts and post inside our challenge groups. I do them inside my challenge group. When I have a sneak peek or something coming up, I say, hey, guys, I don't want to rob you of this opportunity. My team and I have this call coming up and I'd love to see you there. Or I post about the business, 3 to 4 times, and we're going to go into that a little further, but 3 to 4 times on my personal page, and I'll even tag them. By seeing an opportunity post, if we're not talking about it, who will even know that we have something available? You have to post a minimum of 3 times in order for people to even see it. You may not get any likes. You may not have anyone, it may not appear that anyone is seeing your post, but they are watching. So you need to continually just post, maybe different times of the day, and it'll get out there. You need to talk about what coaching has done for you, your family, your health. You need to start with a question and end with a command. People need to be told what to do. Always end your business opportunity posts with comment below, like this post. I love, love, love putting like this post for more information, because people will see your picture and just like it and not even realize that you put that in the post. But then you have that opportunity to reach out to them and say, hey, I don't want to disregard anybody. You liked my post. I said in the post, like my post. So I'm reaching out just in case you did it on purpose. What have you been up to? And that just gives you an opportunity to start a conversation. Asking people every week. You need to be just consistently asking, like I said, 3 to 5 times a week. Creating a list and going after them. You guys, the memory joggers are ridiculous. You can even Google search memory joggers, go under images, and there are gazillions of lists of just, your gardeners, your teachers, your hairdressers, those sort of things. Start making a list and start really thinking about who would be good for this opportunity. Creating a monthly calendar. This is huge, you guys. I like to know what I'm posting for, and you should too. So I just given an example here of where you should start breadcrumbing for challenge groups, for coaching events, for everything. You should be breadcrumbing and then be dropping the post. And then you should be knowing what's coming up next, what date you're going to have the events on, or what date your sneak peeks are opening, or your challenge groups. Because challenge groups are where our best coaches come from. And you should always have that plan in place of, okay, today I need to be posting for this, and this. And that way you stay on track with it.
Okay. Let's see. So recruiting needs to be intentional, right? You definitely want to attract your tribe, right? You want to attract people that are like you, right? Because they're the ones that are going to connect with you, and they're the ones that are going to become coaches, the best coaches. You know, it's like, I can tell you, like in the beginning, I went after everybody, you know, it's like I had no targeting or no tribe per se, but it was funny because the only people that were connecting with me were other middle-aged dudes, you know? So I have, you know, I got a lot of guys on my team, but you know, there's a lot of girls that are, you know, similar age or could relate to my story. But, you know, so, you know, we definitely want to, instead of broadcasting, we definitely want to target our niche, target people who are like us, target people similar age and backgrounds and things like that. Another thing that I do is I run free groups and challenge groups, and I connect with people that way, and I target people, specific people that are interested in my free groups. And basically it's like a funnel. So I get people into my, you know, I target specific people to get them into my free groups, and then I funnel them into my challenge groups that I run every single month. And then after that, I you know, get them to become coaches. So I'm furthering that funnel. And then grooming challengers to be coaches is something that I love, right? And you can do that by, you know, asking your challengers to take part in your challenge group, right? You know, for example, I asked, you know, one of my challengers to, you know, while I was away on vacation, to comment on people's posts, right? And to, you know, check in with people and make sure, you know, that everyone has the motivation and stuff, even though I was there and could check in as well. But, you know, that kind of empowers them and gives them a taste of coaching and stuff like that. So that's always great to do. You know, you want to definitely get people's why and dig deeper, because that allows you to, you know, build a relationship with your challengers, and it will help you build that trust and that connection, so that when you do offer them the coaching opportunity, right, they'll definitely be more responsive to you. And you know, when you have their why and you can use that to, you know, for me, like in the beginning, like when I signed up, it's like, my why was I wanted to, you know, keep myself accountable, you know, as well as get a discount on Shakeology, you know, and my coach, you know, definitely pointed that out to me, that, you know, it would definitely help me do that. So, you know, I was all in when I was asked. And, you know, also assigning tasks to challengers. You know, if you do like a schedule, let's say, you know, you do a Flex Friday or a Motivational Monday, you can always, you know, those challengers that you believe would make great coaches, give them a task like, hey, Sue, would you mind doing the Motivational Monday post this week? Or, you know, hey, Tom, would you mind, you know, doing a Flex Friday post, you know? And it just involves them in your challenge group, and, you know, kind of gives them the role of a coach, so that they're used to it.
I absolutely love that. I wanted to mention Dream Team, you guys. Dream Team is huge. I have a list of 20 people at all times. When I cross somebody off because they've joined me, I go and I find my next person to replace that person. I always keep a list of 20 people for my Dream Team. These are people that I have gotten from my memory joggers, people that I admire, my challengers, and that's what we're going to talk about now, your challengers. They may not be ready at the first time that you ask them, but now you have dropped that nugget on them, and you've put it in their mind that you admire them in some way or another. So the front row people, these are the people that stand out. These are the people that are posting all of the time. These are the people that are engaged. They're working out. They're inspiring others. They are just all in on your challenge groups. you need to ask them. You need to private message them and just, maybe the first message is, hey man, you are just killing it in the group. You're inspiring everybody. And I just wanted to reach out personally and thank you. I like to do this by voice memo or even picking up the phone or texting them and making it a little more personal by them hearing my voice for the first time. And then, if they just keep going by the week and a half point, they're rocking it out. They're feeling good. They're loving their results. I am all in. I'm like, you are already doing what I'm doing. I want you on my team. What will it take? Right? And they might not be ready right then, or they might. You never know. But these are your front row people, your back row people. You'll know them. They're doing great. They're in it, but they're more, reserved. They're not ready for all of that, and they just want to do their programs and maybe save a little money. So I ask, you can kind of tell by the personalities of people and their interactions in the group. You can lead with a discount. Every single person should be asked, every single challenger. My last post of the 21-day groups are, hey, what do you want to do next, right? That's my last post. I want to know, are you ready to do what I do? Are you wanting to just save some 25% off of your shakes going forward for the next group? Are you ready to get into the next group? Or are you going to take a break? These are the 4 questions that I ask every single group. Every single person should be asked about the opportunity. And even if they're just in for the discount, do not discredit them. Let them know if in the future people start asking you about your incredible results. I would be honored to teach you how to coach them, how to have people join you and do just what you're doing. Get on the phone, guys. I cannot say that enough. I'm old school like that. I will pick up the phone in a heartbeat. Don't leave your phone number. When I do my challenge groups, I have everybody text me at the beginning of the group their goals. I want to know your deep down, make you want to cry goals, and you're going to text them to me, because when I see you start slipping, I'm going to call you. And this is also good for having everybody's phone number. They have yours. Pick up that phone. It's in your back office, and give them a call and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I admire you and I want you on my team. Don't be afraid to do that, you guys. It speaks volumes, just like my sprint story.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as soon as somebody says that they're interested in coaching, I get them on the phone. Do not vomit on them like through Messenger or chat or whatever. So let's talk about group recruiting. So this is something that my team does. We run these sneak peeks, right? They're 3 to 5 days. They're a private group on Facebook where the entire team can invite people who are interested in coaching. And then we'll get, 5 or 6 coaches who will share their story, and either in video or Facebook Live, as well as we'll give other, information about coaching over that 3 to 5 days. And, we pick, some guy coaches, some girl coaches, some older coaches, some younger coaches, so that, everybody can find somebody that they relate with. And it works out really well.
Glimpse events, 1 hour long, short and sweet. You set up a Facebook event, you invite, have your whole team invite, and go live. It's basically you're sharing the information that you're sharing in the sneak peeks and in the opportunity calls and so forth, but you're doing it in a shorter amount of time. So sharing your story and maybe highlighting one of your other coaches, and just the basics of how somebody can join, what it takes to be a coach and to join. And then have a live, the live call with a live Q&A at the end, so that everybody has an opportunity to ask whatever questions you didn't cover. It's very short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah, something else that my team does is we do these webinars. So, ideally we want to keep them to like 30 minutes so that people can watch the recording, but we'll do the same thing that we do in the sneak peeks and the glimpses is, we'll have, 4 coaches who will share their stories and share about coaching, right? So we do have a set of slides that we'll go over, and, each person will tell their story, and then they'll cover a couple slides. And, we can get all the information to somebody in 30 minutes instead of 5 days, because, people learn in different ways, and somebody would rather sit on a webinar than, get into a group and get lost or disappear because, they get distracted.
Absolutely. There's also scripted examples. There's private messaging is probably my favorite way to just talk to them and get to know them a little bit better. But script examples, I share a lot with my team. And what I do is I will post in my team page, say, hey guys, this is something that has really worked for me. I think it's an incredible post. It's gotten tons of traction. Here's the picture I'm using. I want you to make it your own and repost it. And here I'm just giving you examples of just a couple, something that I have posted and then something that one of my own teammates reposted in their own words. So yeah, it's okay. If you have a really good post and you're a leader of a team, don't be afraid to share it and say, hey guys, put your own twist on this, but it's gotten really good traction. I think that's very important because I think a lot of us, that's what we're missing is we're lacking the words. We don't have the confidence in our posts. And so sometimes we just need that little nudge. And sometimes that's what your teammates need is just a little example of what to say. Because sometimes that's what you're at a loss for words. So don't be afraid to give a script, but make sure everybody personalize it to sound like them. If you don't say y'all, don't copy and paste my post that says y'all like 10 times, right? So just make it your own.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so once you get someone, convinced to become a coach and they sign up, how do you get them started right? So one of the first things that I do is, get them the business quick start, right? The what is it? The 7-day quick start that you can get from the back office. Have them fill it out. It gives some great information on there. It even has, the memory jogger and stuff in the back office. So that's a quick thing that you can email to your new coaches as a first step. Also, I do a getting started right call. Okay. And one of the first things that I do with my coaches when they sign up, and honestly, it doesn't matter if they're a discount coach or if they want to be a working coach, because I can't tell you the amount of people that told me that they were only signing up for the discount. And I got them on a GSR call. And after I told them all about coaching, they were so excited that they went out to work the business. And several of those coaches have become my diamond coaches. Okay. But one of the first questions that you want to ask is, what are your goals in order for you to feel successful as a coach? What do you need to do? Do you need to, would making $500 a month, make you feel successful? Just find out what it is for them and then help them achieve that and tell them what they have to do to achieve that. Now, here's one of the things that I include in my email to my new coaches is it's a document. It's a PowerPoint. And one of the things that I do on the GSR call is I will review that document because I know that most people won't review it on their own. So I kind of walk them through it, and, I talk about things like, who we are as a team. I talk about, this is us at Summit, and I tell them all about Summit, because I definitely want them to come with us next year. And I talk about the importance of attending calls like, the national wake up call and our team calls, and I tell them when they are and where they can find them. And then I show them the back office, and most importantly, I show them how to set up their EFT management so that they can get their paychecks deposited into their bank. And I show them where their coach ID is, and I tell them about our team training that we offer, right, to new coaches, where we run team calls for new coaches, and then I tell them about their first goals, right, and I explain Success Club. You might say, well, why do you explain Success Club in Emerald, which I do on that Getting Started Right? Because I want to generate that excitement in them, right? So I want to tell them right away, like, how they can be successful as a coach, because some coaches just take off, and they'll go Emerald just like that, So I don't want to hold them back. I don't want them to, have to go through a 30-day program to figure out, how to hit Success Club or how to become Emerald. I tell them right away, and, just let them go from there. So that's kind of like a highlight of what I cover.
I do the same thing. And then on that call, will always end with setting a weekly small obtainable goal, because you don't want to overwhelm them. The back office can be scary. The trainings can be scary. So just saying, hey, okay, listen, okay, you have that financial goal. Let's break that down a little bit. I want you to send 5 messages a day for 4 days to friends that you know have fitness goals, right? So that could be one of them. Or if they're really go-getters and entrepreneurs and they have no fear, you maybe let's go Emerald in a week, right? Just, it all depends on the person, but set a small weekly obtainable goal based on where that person is in their mindset. Whether it be a fitness goal or, just let's get through an entire week of workouts and shakes and posting about it. It could be a posting goal, but just find something that they're working on for that week so that they get used to the goal setting right away. Coach Online Office Training. The back office has so much information, you guys. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. If you don't have a training system already, and you don't have one that you can get from your upline or utilize there, the back office has so much information. There's challenge group trainings, coach trainings, Emerald, Diamond. I mean, every single thing you could possibly think of. Start from the left tab and start working your way over. There is just a ton of great information in that back office. So get acquainted with it. Get in there yourself so that you can guide them a little bit better and send them there.
Yeah, so my team, we used to do Coach Basics, or our own version of Coach Basics, where we'd create a 30-day group, and we would put coaches in there, and we had some really great content, and coaches would be engaged for about the first week or two, and then they would disappear and they'd get lost and distracted and whatever. So what we started doing this year is we started doing calls. So every Monday night, I have a new coach call that I run with some of my leaders. And we invite all of the new coaches that started, and these calls are a 4-part series. So we will cover things like, your why and your vision, and we'll go over the 4 vital behaviors. And then we'll, the next call will dig deeper into inviting and how you do that on social media. And, how do you handle follow-ups and objections and all those type things. And the next week we'll cover how to expand your warm market, which are critical, right, for new coaches to start doing. And then finally we end with the Success Club and the Emerald and tying it all together. So our calls have been really successful, and, people are attending the call and they're paying attention. So that's really working for us.
That's awesome. Something that's been working for my team, because they get very overwhelmed with all of the groups and, we've got this training coming up and that training, and even if it is on a regular basis, there's a lot of people who just want a little bit of information at a time, or they want to be able to just access it when they feel like it, or need to know information. So what we have done is created a self-paced team training. In my team page, I have a pinned post. It's a video of me just welcoming them, letting them know how excited we are to have them, and just kind of giving them the basic information of when our team, because we have weekly team calls, when that is, and how they can find their self-paced team training in the album section of our team page. And this is just a snapshot. I went through and just took quick pictures of what it looks like. It's a new coach roadmap, and it has every topic you can possibly think of, down to knocking out 5 donuts a day. And it gives scripts, ideas, and everything else. And what I'm going to do, or what I have done, is gone through and gotten a document created with every picture and every description and every link to videos and everything else that is under every single topic that you see here to share with you all, just so that you kind of have another idea of some information that you can share for self-paced team training, if that is something you think would work for your team as well. Yeah, and when they have questions come up, go down the road a week in, and they're like, hey, what is this vital behavior, power hour thing that I keep hearing about, or benchmarks or whatever, you can say, hey, let me tag you in that. And you just go right back into the roadmap and tag them under the one that, it has to do with their question, and then they can inform themselves and get the information.
All right. Something else that I started doing is creating success partner pods for my coaches. So, typically I'll recruit 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches a month. And what I do is I put them all into a pod, which is essentially a Facebook chat group. Okay. And I tell them, hey, you guys are success partners. You're starting this journey together. And, we can chat on a daily basis, or, I could check in on them. I can remind them of the team calls. I can remind them of the new coach calls. I can answer questions. And I tell them, hey, even after the new coach calls are over, continue working together. You guys can run challenge groups together. You guys can keep each other accountable. And I can continue checking in on them on a regular basis. So that's definitely working.
I love that idea. I want you guys to keep in mind that your coaches are only going to be strong if you continue to coach them. We sign them up, and they start off as challengers, and we are still their coaches, and then they convert to coaches, and then it's kind of like, whoop, there you go. Here's all the coaching information, and this is Vital Behaviors, and that's Success Club, and here's Emerald and Diamond and blah, blah, blah. But what we sometimes forget is to go back and make sure that we are checking in on their personal goals. So I like to have a weekly check-in with my personally sponsored coaches just to see where they're at with their programs, with their eating, nutrition, and just how they're feeling personally, because they need to, they're pouring so much into other people, and they're pouring so much into inviting other people, that you need to be pouring into them and reminding them that the better, the more they stick to that vital behavior of being a product of the product, the better coach they'll be, the stronger coach they'll be, the more confident they'll be able to lead and coach and do everything that follows with it. So please make sure that you're having weekly check-ins. Some coaches don't require weekly check-ins. Some of them are just so self-motivated and off and running that they don't require it, but every other week. But make sure that you're at least checking in on them once to twice a month. And leading with personal goals, because it's so easy for us to say, hey, you're going inactive, we're, this, that, and the other. But when was the last time you checked in and just spoke to them about their personal goals? The more you do that, the stronger of a coach you'll have.
Okay, this is something that I love to do. And basically it's I do, we do, you do, right? So it starts with I do, right? So I run my personal, free groups and my challenge groups, and I get people in and I show them how I do things, right? I go through the process, I convert them to be coaches. And then I plug them in with the we do, right? So I plug them in. We have a coach premier challenge group is what we call it, which is run by a lot of different coaches of mine. And, these coaches, they run the group together, right? And this is great for discount coaches. It's great for those coaches who may only be able to invite one person a month. And that way they don't have the pressure of having to start a group with just one other person. We assign a posting schedule, and we involve every single coach that is, part of our group. They'll take a day to post, and we'll come up with a theme, right? And we tell them, today you're posting about this, and we incorporate, coaching opportunity posts, as well as videos and motivational posts for our challengers and our coaching team. And then the final step is the you do, right? So I tell my coaches, it's like, once you start bringing in, 2, 3, 4 or more people, run your own groups, right? And I encourage them to create a group in the My Challenge Tracker app, because that way people can check in, they can log their workouts and their Shakeology, and if they're not on Shakeology, they could see everyone else posting about Shakeology, which adds the peer pressure to get them on Shakeology, and that works really well. So I love that I do, we do, and then you do for my team. Do you have any final words, Jen?
I think it's amazing. I think that just leading with your heart. Lead with your heart. Don't ever try and sell anybody anything. Just lead with your heart, and bringing challengers into coaching, it'll become a second nature once you start leading with your heart and don't think about the numbers. That's it. I think it's amazing.
All right, let me stop sharing. And if you guys have any questions, I will, let me